This is your Friday morning fish report.
I'm a going fishing, yes, I'm going fishing, and my baby going fishing too.
The fish are coming in. It's Downtown Joe with your Friday morning fishing report, joined by Bill Herzog here from Northwest Wild Country Sports Radio 950 KJR AM.
Good morning, kids.
And, of course, Bob, Spike, Jody, and everybody else is here. And before we tell you where the fish are, I got a little game to play.
Okay.
Got a game to play with us.
Yes. When Bill and I went fishing a couple weeks ago, I brought something on his boat. Mm-hmm. While Bill was okay with it, many a fisherman would have thrown me overboard.
For bringing that on your boat?
Yeah.
Pot.
Did you have a green card?
Pot is actually, believe it or not, a fish attractant I've found in the past.
It is?
You have.
Well, I'm not
They
saying...
call it the fish whistle, by the way, Joe. You blow the fish whistle and they show up.
Yeah, I'm not saying it works for everybody.
Hey, Sturgeon, don't bogart that.
But I've noticed one thing, and this was a long time ago.
What was this, then, if it wasn't that?
I noticed that when you get distracted is when fish bite. And what's better to distract you than getting sidetracked with some, something you're consuming, be it beer, pot, or whatever. But that's not what this is about. That's a different story.
A good friend of mine used to always say, I catch my biggest fish when I'm really high, man. It's amazing. They always bite. I go, well, if you're smoking pot the entire time you're on the river, chances are pretty good.
You would always catch your biggest fish.
Eventually, you're going to get a big fish. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is what's in this box. Mm-hmm. I brought something on Bill's boat. It's in this box right now. And
it is not alive.
I was told, and I'd heard this before, but I forgot, that these things are banned on fishing boats all over the world, and it's like a totally forbidden thing. Now, Bill's not that superstitious, so he let me stay on the boat. But what do you suppose? Many fishermen from all over will absolutely go nuts if you bring one of these on a boat.
Dead body.
Nope.
Paul McCartney Rose.
No.
Inflatable love doll.
2 inflatable love dolls.
I think that counts.
4
for the
inflatable
Coast
love
Guard.
dolls.
One for everybody.
How would we know, Joe?
Well, it's funny. I haven't even asked people to text, but look at the text, and there's a gazillion people right now that have the
correct
right answer.
Mm-hmm.
Banana?
Hey, ding, ding, ding.
A
banana.
A banana.
What?
Why is it wrong to bring a banana on a boat?
Why is it wrong to bring a banana on a boat, Bill?
It's been a superstition since the 1700s, and nobody really knows why. It's crazy. They said because banana boats, when they sunk, the only thing you saw was floating bananas afterwards. And when banana boats were the fastest boats because they spoiled so quickly, you couldn't fish off of them. You never caught fish off of them. Modern-day anglers think that banana oil spooks salmon. And they are so sideways about this, they make anybody look sane. The anglers nowadays.
So is it the banana oil when you're eating the banana, it gets on your hands, and so it gets on the line when you bait the line?
Precisely. Supposedly, it's not been proven, but it's a huge superstition. It's a huge superstition.
So what's good to eat on a boat is raw sardines and get them all over everything.
Yeah, rub them everywhere. Or anything that'll mask. You want to mask the human scent. There's something to be said for that, right?
Yeah. I had something awesome happen to me on a Westport trip years ago. A captain lined us up before the trip, and he goes, he's just like Arlie Ermian, Full Metal Jacket. He goes, all right, all y'all, I got my man here's going to go through all your stuff. If you got any banana bread, any banana lotion, any banana pudding, any banana boat sunscreen, if you're wearing Banana Republic stuff, get it off right now.
Republic.
So I'm thinking, of course, the guy on my shoulder goes, I wonder if I should tell him I'm wearing a banana hammock, and he'd like to check that before he gets on board. Yeah. So, the guy was insane. He wouldn't let us on board before everything was checked, and all our lunches were going through. No bananas.
So Joe got on anyway and did you catch fish?
We caught a couple nice kokanee.
did.
That was a couple weeks ago. Now, if you want to know where the fish are now, Bill just was up in the Straits yesterday, and you got something there you brought back.
I did. Hey, I brought meat. Do I get a prize, Joe?
That's at QFC at noon today, but I want to see your meat. What do you got in here?
Well, let's have a look. See, I got. Whoop.
This should really be a video podcast.
How about some king salmon?
All bananas and meat.
This is leaving with you fellas and ladies, by the way. If you want it, I'm sure you do.
Let's bring some and throw it on stage for Paul tonight.
Throw a fish at him?
Yeah.
He doesn't eat
that's
fish,
beautiful.
though, does he?
Does Paul not? He is a total vegetarian, I believe.
Yeah.
Check that.
I don't know
that that's true.
Well, since Linda passed,
Right,
maybe he's
sneaking
relaxing
some-
the rules
A
a
pescatarian eats fish
Yes.
and veggies, but not other meat.
Right.
So he's not been seen at Wendy's or anything.
No, the most
Joe's a
not.
bananatarian.
No, I love a good banana.
Yeah, a
myself.
lot of guys freak out, man, but hey, it's breakfast as far as I'm
So what else
concerned.
you got for fishing news?
Fishing news, the pink run, which we talked about
Mm-hmm.
last week, there's going to be how many millions of pinks coming our way?
6.3 million. There you
And
go.
right
Yeah,
now
tons of
they
them.
are somewhere in the Straits working.
Oh, they're on their way down here, and the last run was in 2011. They run in odd-numbered years. It's similar run size. Brought over $10 million to Puget Metropolis last time. Seattle, Tacoma, Everett. That run alone brings that much money into this market.
In terms of just money
License
spent.
sales, tackle,
yeah.
gas, you name it. 100,000 licenses were sold.
For and by the way,
Yeah.
when people buy a license, that money, what is that used for?
It goes into the general fund. It doesn't go back to any fisheries.
It's not about fishing.
No, it
you know.
goes into fixing roads, etc.
And if you like to hike and stuff, don't you get the parking pass? If you buy a fishing license, you get the pass that lets you park in the in the state parks and stuff. That's
At the same time.
part of the deal. And the
Yeah.
fishing license is like $30 or whatever. Well, that pass is going to cost you almost that anyway.
Yeah,
And,
sounds
and
great.
if you're a person that doesn't fish a lot, the pinks are the ones because there's so many. They're kind of easy to catch.
Well, you
And
know,
that-
Bill, I'm glad you got Joe out fishing again.
Me too.
Yeah,
Been a while.
He loves fishing. He talks about it all the time, but he's been talking about it in the past tense for a while.
Well, he's a good angler. He really is. He's got.
Oh, he knows the angle and everything.
Well,
yeah.
let's go.
I do. I love to fish. And, the little thing is I got sidetracked with being married and having kids, but also drinking, believe it or not, doesn't go well with fishing for me.
What?
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Drinking takes up a lot of my time and makes me not want to get up early. And I have not been drinking. I haven't drank a drop for, a couple months now.
Have you not had a drink in a couple months?
I want to get my shirts to fit again. And
And you think drinking will help a lot?
well, not drinking helps you shrink, and it also makes it easier for me to get up at 4 a.m. and go fishing.
Beer tastes best at 4 a.m.
I know it's not. That's not for everybody. By the way, if you want to win a trip to go fishing with me and Bill,
Yes.
you can listen to their show on
All right.
Sports
How do we
Radio.
win this trip?
You got to listen to Northwest Wild Country on Saturday morning, 6 a.m. right next door. Sports Radio 950 a.m. I have a little contest. Is it a ding or is it a horn? I got a horn and a little bell. I don't have them with me. But it's a true or false story. If it's true, guys call them. We take the first 5 correct answers, put them in the.
Can you give me an example? Like do a little true false.
I told a fishing.
And by the way,
story.
I like your air horn and your air bang.
You got to have it. I wish I had them with me. Too bad.
No, I like the real. I like when you, like air guitar. I like when you do it.
For example, tomorrow I'll give you a little hint of tomorrow what's coming up. I'm going to tell a story. Have I caught more summer Chinook, legal summer Chinook in Washington State in the summertime, or have I seen Sasquatch more times? Yeah.
that sounds
I'm
like
gonna
an
guess.
easy one to win.
Yeah.
Sasquatch, clearly, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You've
Yeah,
never
you're
caught
right.
one.
Never.
I've never caught one. A legal one.
Okay.
I've caught 100 of them. I had to let go. But
So if you
that's
ask that question tomorrow, people
Yeah.
already know the answer.
we'll find out. I've been telling people to listen back and forth, but
True or false? When Paul McCartney caught fish out of the window at the Edgewater Hotel, what he did was he went back and caught Ringo's fish and put a bigger fish on the line after Ringo went home. A lot of people don't know that's true.
Now, I bet you.
The Pinks. I
You've
remember
seen the runs.
I remember the first time the Pinks ran to this town. Of course, they were called seamstresses for the union purposes. The Pinks brought the money in, I can tell you that much. Sure, they left on Boaster in gold, but when they came back, what did they want? The Pinks. Lovely women. Boy, could they fish. And the smell. The smell of the Pinks. That brings back a fond memories.
Ragtime Spike will have the pink report on Monday at 9 a.m.
Oh, boy.
Tell you where to find the pinks.
Oh, speaking, you were talking about Colonel Sanders earlier.
Yeah.
I got to run one off the rails. The coolest picture I've ever seen was a picture of Colonel Sanders over on the Quinault Reservation on the biggest salmon hatchery in the world. You walk in the visitor center, and there's a picture of Colonel Sanders in his full white outfit, little black tie, wearing hip boots, standing next to a dugout canoe, holding about a 15-pound steelhead. I looked at this, and I went, no way.
That's because
I wanted to show-
the caption said chicken sucks.
Yeah.
And they had every picture destroyed.
He went out. This is a true
Colonel.
story. He went out on our steelhead rivers with the Quinault Nation as a guest of the chief of the tribe, and fished these rivers. Harlan Sanders was an avid fisherman. One other quick thing, and I didn't plan this, but I want to ask you about the return to Lake Cle Elum of the sockeye.
Is it Cle Elum or Cle Elum?
Lake Cle Elum is the way I say it. The Yakima Nation planted these sockeye years ago, just hoping they'd kind of figure out a way to work their way back into this lake. First time in 100 years the sockeye have returned to Lake Cleom, the kokanee salmon, right?
How did they get there?
They're trucked up there. They're caught, I think, down at Rosa Dam or something like that, and they're trucked around.
They
and dumped up
hitchhike.
there. They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
They
when you
still
said
can't
that
get there.
they have learned they're landlocked salmon, right?
Yeah.
So they returned. We put them in there.
Right. But there has been...
You made it sound like they walk.
Right.
Well,
they grew legs, Bob. The craziest little evolutionary
for the
story.
first time in a century...
We
there's-
stocked it.
Yeah, there's going to be... And they're taken. Like, they're finding these stream beds and stuff. It's going to... They're making...
You think they'll reproduce? How often does that happen, Bill? Where we stock fish? Because generally, the feeling I always used to have fishing is if it was a stocked fish, they got put in there. We took them out. We could have saved the middleman. I could have just gone down the hatchery and bought the fish. But I know the idea is some of them will live and reproduce. Is that more and more possible?
It's very possible. Genetically, they're not predetermined to do this.
They're not.
They're not good at it. Like a wild fish is so much stronger because they've had to dodge all these predators all their lives.
Right.
A hatchery fish, when
These
they put
fish
in,
are raised in schools and given school lunches and
Yeah.
handouts all the way
Right.
through their
They're
whole
trusting.
yeah, they're
Well,
literally hand-fed.
They're a very liberal society.
Every
not
time you
good
throw
at
a
it.
handful of gravel in a lake, all of a sudden the fish will go, whoa, yeah, what's
Yeah,
up?
because
It's
they think
feeding
that
time.
that's
They think-
pellets.
Feeding
Yeah,
time.
yeah, because they're used to that.
So these fish suddenly find themselves in the evil real world of fighting to be a fish.
Yeah, and they don't know how to. Because, like Joe said, we've fed them. Hand-fed them. When they see people, they go, oh, time to eat. Yay!
Yeah.
And here they come,
Well,
right?
that makes them easier to catch, too, doesn't it?
I
Exactly.
like
Yes, it
them.
does.
Favorite.
Yeah,
Oh, a friendly man with a line.
There's a lake in eastern Washington, Lake Lenore, I fished, and these fish are huge, but they also know that the sooner, once you hook them, the sooner that they get up to the surface, the quicker you're going to let them go. I mean, these fish, I think they literally know. They don't put up much of a fight because it's
They know they're catch and
release lake.
Really?
I think they must because
Yeah.
they're these huge trout. I mean, we're talking 7-8 pound trout, but you hook one on a line and they'll fight for a minute and they're like, all right, yeah, you got me. And-
You win.
Yeah, actually.
I'm really
Actually-
tired. I need you to quickly unhook me and let me go back to laying by my gravel stream.
I may be wrong, but
No, they are Lahontan cutthroats from Pyramid Lake in Nevada. Did you know that?
no, I didn't.
Well, there you go. And they are really piss-pee fighters. So
They're terrible.
Yeah,
horrible
yeah,
fighting
they don't put up. I mean, they're huge, but they don't
Much
put
like
up any
the
fight.
much like the San Francisco 49ers, like the shirt you wear today. We're not going to let that. We're going to let that fly.
Yeah.
What?
This guy's sitting here in a Niners T-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're a Baltimore fan, and I'm sitting next to you.
I don't. I'm rooting for the Seahawks as I live and work and
I
thrive
see.
and prosper from the city of Seattle. You, on the other hand, have turned tail and backed this bunch of weed smoking, liberal based San Francisco 49er fans with their disrespectful, tattoo covered, sideways cap wearing, uber punk quarterback. You're sitting next to a true Seahawk fan in a Seahawk jersey or Seahawk T-shirt, I should say, and
Just
you're wearing
get used to
Niners.
second place, pal.
That's the
all.
one
By the way,
character
there's
flaw
one
in
thing
Bill.
sports talk hosts love is to
Oh, yeah.
fight over
yeah.
sports teams. Now, you do sports as well as fishing, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what Spike is doing now is the classic sports talk
How do
host
you?
bait.
How
Yeah,
dare
he's-
you wear
Which is
a red
combining
and gold
both
T-shirt?
fishing and sports, right? Are you going to take that bait?
I just
Are you going to put up any fight, or are you just going to let them drag
lay
you
it
across
down.
our
You're gonna
counter?
spit it out, or you're gonna.
It's what I tell to all Seahawk fans. Let me move my 5 Super Bowl trophies so I
Yeah,
can hear you.
play "Living in the Past," the official theme song of the San Francisco 49er fan.
Yeah, who was in
funny.
the Super Bowl last year, pal?
The one who lost, you mean? Yeah, it'd be Kaepernick. I find
Who
it
would consider it an honor to lose a Super
right.
Bowl?
See, I was
Right.
going
Seahawk.
to give you fish, man. I really
I don't
was.
want fish from a Niner fan. I didn't know they were Niner caught.
Bill Herzog, Northwest Wild Country, Sports Radio 950 AM, Saturday from 6 to 8 a.m. That's when you're up fishing. Give him a listen. He'll give you the scoop on it all. Thank you very much, Bill.
My pleasure, sir.
Bill's going to Brewster this week to fish, so we'll let you know what's happening out there next
Where's
week.
Brewster?
That is out on the Columbia River, where there's a huge run coming in eastern
Sockeye
Washington.
and king salmon.
On the Columbia River. That sounds like beautiful, and it'll be hot and warm, and
Only 100.
you'll need some
That's all.
you'll need some banana juice to wash that down.
Banana
All right.
Republic,
Yeah, some banana
Thanks, Bill.
boat. My pleasure,
Cool
guys.
fishing trivia for our show, and fishing report every Friday, 9 a.m. right here on 95.7 K.